Good morning, good morning. How are we doing today, guys? I hope everybody's having a great end to the week here so far today. And hopefully it just gets better because the SPY right now is bouncing pretty well off of support here today. We turn on our drawings, we can actually see the low from Monday down here right around 662 to 662.50. And guess where the SPY bounced today? Right there. So I would love to trade SPY to the downside today. Don't get me wrong. I would love it. But hey, right now we're seeing a support bounce and the PCE data has not necessarily scared anybody out there. So be ready. The SPY has been pretty bullish so far. Doesn't mean it has to keep being bullish here, but it is something that I'm being careful and mindful of. Happy Friday, good guy. Can we get our half-price tattoos at the gas station? What? What's up, Hot Sauce? Toro, Zach, Jake, Tank. The 13th. Friday the 13th. The tattoos. I didn't realize Manicured started that. That's funny. Bank of America up to 47.60. What's up, Sudden? It's all about the crude price at this point. Yes, it is. Let's look at crude oil today because it hasn't done much. It pulled back a little bit from last night, kind of down into yesterday's range, which is helping the SPY. The SPY likes it. What's up, Rick? Welcome in. Crude is not looking too hot today. It's trying to hold $92 a barrel, but doesn't look too hot, which is helping the SPY a bit. The SPY is contending with a big range of resistance here at the same time at 671. This is a pretty big zone from the past couple days where SPY has really failed. Yesterday, the SPY could not really solidify any good PA above 671. So watch that level today. 671 resistance and 662.50 support. There are some supports in between there. I also have 668.45, 668.50, and 665.50. A couple other levels there to watch for, especially if you're somebody who scalps on like a 1 minute chart. Nvidia powering up here from open, actually. Some pretty decent price action and great candles so far. Let me fix the audio really quick. But I'm getting up the Mag 7 setup here. Now this is how we do it today. Meta down 3%. What is going on with them? Why are they down so much at open? Meta, any news today? Meta is falling behind in AI models. I did not see this today, but I guess there was some stuff. Michael Burry warns the market is a coiled spring primed for a violent crash. Meta may delay avocado. What? Is that the name of their Meta or their new AI? Like they're calling Meta AI avocado? Okay. Some of these things have weird names, guys. I can't believe it. Yeah, I saw Tommy Boy actually posted about an avocado this morning. Now I understand Why? Yeah, they posted in discussion right as the market opened. That's funny. I missed that first part there for those first couple minutes. This is crude futures right here today. An undelayed chart of futures showing the drop off. Ooh, Nvidia just had a big drop down. They tried popping off there on their first couple candles today and now gave it all back. Immediate rejection here. SPY's turning back over as well. Having trouble here at resistance. Let's go see what Kalshi odds are looking like for rate cuts in June following all this. Right now, maintaining rate is the highest at 59%. Today, yeah, it dropped down by 2% following today's data. So nothing too crazy of a move on Kalshi. Kalshi didn't really move much at all. Now, here's the chance for the number of rate cuts in 2026. There's a 26% chance being priced in that there's one cut, and a 24% chance that there's 0 cuts. So, oh, that's a very close percentage. And then even 2 cuts is at 23%. So, seems like the market is very undecided when it comes to the cuts here. And today's data, excuse me. Wow, sorry guys. Today's data did not really surprise at all or cause any big disturbances that would make the Federal Reserve go one way or the other. So I don't think the market's really pricing in anything crazy. The only thing that came in with today's data, and I'll show you, that was a bit strange is if we go ahead and we get to today. Hang on, I was looking at April for somebody else. Let me... All right. The only thing that was a bit strange is the GDP growth rate QOQ second estimate for Q4 came in at 0.7% versus consensus of 1.4%, and the previous reading was 4.4%. So that one came in and missed expectations. Besides that, everything else was fairly solid with expectations. It was close, very close at least. This GDP sales QOQ second, again, that one missed, but that's kind of tied to the other GDP. Same category, so to say. Now at 10 a.m., we're going to get job openings and then Michigan consumer sentiment too. So we're still going to have some more data coming out here in about 12 minutes that can move things even more. So be ready. As we know, jobs data has been pretty important lately. There's SPY holding its ground, moving up towards 671. Like we said, SPY has been more bullish than bearish overall today. That pre-market support bounce was awesome. My big fear is that before we start to trend up, SPY trades a bit lower here and then decides to bounce up maybe later in the day, but hopefully not the case. I want to see some good momentum come through. Of course, be ready for anything. Lots of different ways to look at the open there. Meta still looks pretty bad. It consolidated after its first couple bad candles, but we'll see if it drops down and breaks through that low of the morning or not. Pretty big news with Meta, though. Delaying avocado. How dare them? Throw some fertilizer on it and call it a day. Hopefully it's worth it. Did you see that a judge ruled that Kalshi is a betting app? No, I have not. I have not seen that, but that sounds pretty big for a company like Kalshi. How's DraftKings moving off that news? We had a recent big money trade with DraftKings that still eyeing up a little bit here. Moving very well, though, since the call. He said PAYP moving. PaySafe? Who is this? Pay Corporation. What? Did you mean PYPL? Oh. Damn, manicured. I feel like I could have done without hearing that today. Intel's pumping. INTC moving up 46.50. 1 minute chart looking good. 46.45. Actually, nice move by Intel overall on the day. Almost seems like it's flagging intraday here. Sudden says Tesla calls at the low of day look interesting. Bouncing around 396. It is getting close to that support. If you're looking for a move up, it's probably not the worst, given where it is. I was looking at it down last night. This morning, though, with the market, it's bounced up, and we have to really see that support break before getting too bearish on it. Definitely needs some type of confirmation there. What do y'all have for a level is 126 on Walmart. That's looking pretty good. Walmart's attempting to break out. 126 is a resistance here to keep in mind. But Walmart's kind of a slow mover. Like, note yesterday how much it chopped around before it eventually broke out, right? That might be something you have to look to endure before you can get the move going that you want. Let's see, though. Above 126. Gosh, I don't want to just go up only 50 cents on you, but 126.50 is pretty good too. Past that, 127 and 127.30. The one thing I really like with Walmart is how it's starting to consolidate down here on this dip. How are some of the defense players doing? Watch Lockheed again today. Lockheed could be extremely fun if we start to see it break through yesterday's high. Lockheed Mountain. SPY's testing 671, Gonzalez asks, or says. Wow, SPY just had a big break, didn't it? Big break out there. 671 broken. Wow, that bullish action has continued here into today. That support bounce into this morning has been playing out very well. Very, very well. How is crude oil moving? Let's go check out the futures. Really not falling all that much, just holding its ground. What a wild past few weeks it's been in the market. SPY pushing back up again. We've had so much up and down action lately. Like, look at the SPY. It's like drop, pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, drop. Are we popping now? We might as well be. It seems like it's really trying to hold this support zone, at least for now. Very big zone of support. Good bounce, though, so far. Great hold back. The bulls are probably rejoicing right now. It's a big spot for the market. Jake said Trump speaking live. I'm not seeing any updates being posted right now, but he probably is. QQQ's ripping despite Meta. Meta has been trying to come back, though, a little bit. Looking at Mag 7, Meta's now only down 2% on the day. Every other Mag 7 player is green, except for Meta, so they're probably making up for it. How's everybody's Friday going so far? Are you happy with the way the market's moving, or are you upset with it? Yeah, Sharpie, it sounds pretty good, actually. You know, I have an idea, Sharpie. To help fund the war effort, they should come out with a Lockheed Mountain coffee. And every dollar spent on the coffee goes directly towards the war. If they do that now, we have record of it. It was our idea. Just kidding. Friday the 13th, Tank, welcome up. I probably should have thrown that in the title somewhere or the thumbnail today. Major attacks. Trump issues explosive warning that strikes will come today. I'm not seeing that come out, but for some reason that's not hitting in my headlines. I don't know why. Tom gets a cut. That's right. Buffett said Iran doesn't need to swing at the strikes and is awaiting the fat pitch. They don't need to swing at the strikes. That's a pretty good way to say it, I guess. They don't need to swing at the strikes. They're waiting for the fat one. Like Barry Bonds. SPY is starting to get a bit volatile. Let's go check the crude chart. Just give it a quick look. Sitting around 94 a barrel, popping up slightly, but not much. If crude were to start to trade back above 95 a barrel here, I think that's where we might start to see it start to jolt a bit higher. We still have more data coming out in 7 minutes as well. Don't forget about the jolts, job openings, and Michigan consumer sentiment data. Both hitting here, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Bonds on the juice. I wonder how good he would have been if he wasn't juiced up. Probably still pretty good. Epic Fury coffee. Deep roast. Jake, I just realized how funny that really was. It took me a minute, but now I appreciate it. That's funny. Good morning, Zoidberg. Welcome in today. So far, the market's been trying to pop back pretty well. Not bad. Ethereum broke above 2,200. There we go. Ethereum, I hadn't checked on Bitcoin in a couple of days, I don't believe. Doing pretty good, though. Well above 70K, holding its ground. Today, it's doing great. Today was the big solid push above 70K. Let's go see Ethereum to USD. Nice, nice. Yeah, getting towards its recent high. Which isn't a great thing to say. Its recent high is like 2,200, right at the high of day today, but it's trying to recover. It's been down in the dumps. Interesting movement today. It's good to see that with Bitcoin, though. It's probably really helping BMNR. I'm not surprised people are looking out for it. Shai said Nebius just hit that first level we talked about. NBIS. Jumping. All right, Nebius coming back to this morning in a fantastic way. Wow, look at the way it held 110 at open and bounced. Holy shit. Nebius is on fire. How about Navitas? NVTS tried to come back too. They have a long way to go, though. A lot of work to get through their recent high. NBIS had that recent NVIDIA $2 billion investment news the other day on, what day was that, Wednesday? That was a pretty big piece of news. NVIDIA putting money into any company usually gets them to pump, especially on these smaller ones or more growth-oriented stock. If we see something like NVIDIA do a partnership with, like, I don't know, Microsoft or something, if it's huge, yeah, sure, somebody's probably going to move. But if it's just like a smaller $2 billion deal like this, probably not going to get much traction. But with something like NBIS in the growth phase, woo, you see these things really run. Shy throws the eye up here. Juggling the UMAC hot potato today, Zoidberg said. UMAC, oh, pulling back, unfortunately. All right, going back to the SPY really quickly. Gonna eye it up on the 1 minute because we have some data releasing. Yes. Get ready, it's time, as they like to say.
It's time!
JOLTS data and Michigan consumer sentiment at the same time here. ETA just a couple seconds away. Oh, there we go. Now I can't stop it. It's really going though now. Oh no.
All right.
Okay, it's about time. That 1 minute felt like forever to me. Okay. Not much so far. Not much so far. We'll go to trading economics. JOLTS came in at 6.946 million. Job quits, 3.1 million. Michigan consumer sentiment came in at 55.5, better than the 55 estimate. So far, so good. So far, not a lot of price action on SPY, which is a good thing. That is nice there. 672.34 resistance. SPY is kind of stuck. Nothing crazy. Green first candle, red second candle. The signal's more of a resilient job market right now. Since the job openings came in at 6.946 million versus 6.75 million expected, we did see it come in a little bit higher, a little bit hotter, which is good. This is a beat. Shows that the jobs market's a little bit more resilient right now. But it doesn't really show anything too crazy, if I'm being honest with you. But technically it's a beat because it came in higher. There we go. SPY pulling back now. Now we're getting some action. Took a minute for traders to understand what was going on. Not good. Oh, that was January's data too. I didn't even realize that. That was January's data. Pulling a bit lower there. Are you still bearish on Jets? Yeah, I am. I'm still mostly bearish on Jets. Now, the thing is that Jets is getting pretty low, but I am still bearish on it because of how oil's doing. The Iran situation in crude oil puts these airliners under stress. Number one, they have stress rerouting flights, different things like that, but then they also have other stuff. How many years have you been trading, Tom? This is year number 10. I started trading around 2015, 2016. But technically I turned 18 in 2016, so we're going with that. That's a long time, actually. Feels like a long time now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Zoidberg, my first couple of years, I blew an account. I blew a couple of them. One time, I blew a futures account. Didn't know what I was doing and, like, held ES through a rate cut event, and it went the wrong way and blew it up fast. But that was a smaller account. Another time during one of the trade wars that Trump was doing in like 2018, somewhere right around there, when Trump was doing those trade wars, I was trading VXX. And one time I was shorting VXX. Let me see if I can find it. It's weird post-split, though. It doesn't look quite right. But essentially what I was doing was like, you know, shorting VXX, just like shorting it, and just continuing to ride the wave of shorts down. And what ended up coming into play is it popped up on that news, right? And as it popped up, you know, I would short again and then short again, you know, to kind of get like your average price higher, of course. And then at one point, though, and I believe that this is just showing VXX normally, I think at one point in after hours, it was actually like much higher than this, but it like retreated back down. And whenever that happened, essentially I got margin called or something back in the day. I don't think it was technically a margin call, but I think it was. I was forced to liquidate. And yeah, not a fun scenario back then, right? But that was a fun one. And you know, I actually knew Mike at the time, and Mike, after hearing that, he was like, and then, you know, I was like, okay, well, you know, mistakes happen. I was like, I'm gonna have to just push forward through it. And Mike was like, man, he's like, I'm surprised you didn't quit. It was kind of funny. But he said that back in 2018 too, so that was a long time ago. But yeah, that's my story of the bad L when I started. From that point on, I really buckled down and decided that I needed to really smarten up. That was probably a 30K hit on one trade. At the time, it felt like a ton of money, because I was like 18 years old, but snowballed 2K into 35K, 3 years trading only shares, lost it all in a month trading options, lost that last 10K on GameStop calls. Hey, that's pretty good though. But then you lost it in a month trading options. Oh, I gotcha. And it was GameStop. Oh, man. That's crazy. That sounds great, though, with the way you turned the $2,000 into 35K on shares in a few years. That's solid. You must have been into some great companies, though, to get that type of growth. PLTR. Bouncing around 151 to 151.50. Not much action here. SPY still falling down since that data released. It had had one green candle, but after that initial green, flung right back down. Yeah, Leon, keep on learning and start to really look into risk management if that's the need. I had a problem with over trading. I didn't necessarily over risk, except for that VXX trade, but I normally just over traded. I would do like 100 trades a day or something. Not always 100, but you know, it would be like 50 plus very often, and sometimes exceeding 150. It just depended on the day. So I started getting a lot more concise, we'll say. You know, Zoidberg, I would say overall, probably, if we don't count just like selling options, which is like long-term stuff, I would probably say, and when I say long-terms, like, you know, you might always be adjusting it though, like each week. So there's like a lot of weird trades from that, but if you're not counting that and you're just counting like day trades specifically, I would probably say like 0.7 Zoidberg, somewhere like 0.7. You probably don't need to do it every single day. But some people will probably average more like 4 or 5 a day. Some might average 10. I would say a good sweet spot would probably be like 0.7 to 2. But it really depends on your strategies, because each person's different. Some people will be looking for a lot smaller moves, and they might, for example, like trade this uptrend on Tesla like 5 times. Other people, for example, might try to just trade the initial breakout and trade it 1 time. So it's very difficult to put a number on that, because everybody's trading strategy and niche is different. And especially if you're selling options, like a lot of what I do, you know, you don't have to necessarily day trade every single day. You know, you can be very selective with your trades and really try to snipe out the better setups over, let's say, trying to force just anything that comes out, right? Oh, you're only doing shares, though. Okay. Scalping pennies for the 100 trades, Manicured said. Yeah, it was kind of like scalping pennies in a way on the oil futures and S&P 500 futures. Yep. It would be very quick. Whenever you're doing that many trades, the biggest and hardest problem you run into is fees. That's where the real kicker comes in, is fees. Those rack up more than your losses even do. At least they did back then. Yeah. Yeah, for shares. I meant futures. There's still fees for futures, but they've definitely come down from where they used to be. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Zoidberg. You have to at least get used to the charts and the way in which stocks move before you run in there. Mason said, nice little SPY puts there. Still moving down too, 668.50. SPY really rejecting back here. Let's go see CNBC really fast. Let's look at some of this. I'm surprised they don't have an article yet about the data. 4 crew members killed in U.S. refueling plane that crashed in Iraq, Pentagon says. That's a pretty big headline for this morning. I was looking at that one before pre-market open. Figured I'd mention it, though. You guys know what time it is, though? It's that special time of Friday where we like to have fun. Because next week's earnings are out. Yes, Earnings Whispers chart is released. We can see the list right here. My favorite stock of the week next week, Playboy, reporting Monday after hours. No. I always try to pick one stock and be funny with it. That's my stock for next week, but looking at the stocks seriously for next week, FLY, Firefly, reports Thursday after hours. LUNR, Intuitive Machines, Thursday in pre-market. RCAT reports Wednesday in after hours. That's going to be a fun one. RCAT, ATAT, Tuesday pre-market. SMTC, Monday in after hours with Playboy. Dollar Tree, everybody's favorite store. That's probably Wall Street Bet's favorite store right there, Dollar Tree. We go to Lululemon, though. That's where we go. Planet, PL, XPEV, XPENG, XPEV. I'm just kidding. I don't really shop at Lulu. I'm more of a Nike guy myself, but I do like some of Lulu's stuff. I do Fabletics. Fabletics is pretty solid. Dr. Zoidberg said big sell-off in LMT and RTX. Let's see, Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Mountain. Yeah, big pullback there for Lockheed Mountain. Unfortunately, not breaking out through the zone. Couldn't get through 660. Poor Lockheed Mountain. What are we going to do? RTX pulling back pretty harshly, too, down to 204.30. General Dynamics, L3 Harris. They're all moving lower. NVDA really sold off. Broke that support here from market open. 184.50, 184.70. Really broke down. What's your thoughts on now? After the pullback, Elite said. Service now after the pullback. I've been liking it back up after the pullback personally. It's, oh, you mean the pullback from the past couple days. I got you. Yeah, the overall, this bottom range is still in play, even with the pullback here. This is something that's fairly common whenever you see a stock trying to recover up off of something like this. It could pull back and then, of course, continue the uptrend. Today might be the day it turns back around. It's up 1.27%. It's going to be really hard to call the bottom here, but I feel like it's getting fairly close. Of course, this is a pretty volatile stock, though. If ServiceNow does happen to break through this recent low, it's going to be game over in my book. If it breaks through $100, you really better watch out. This is a major support and big trend that ServiceNow is trading on. The trend goes back to 2019, and it's still holding this zone. So keep your eyes on this with ServiceNow. I think it's in a spot where, in the broader sense, it could start to come back. I personally think ServiceNow would be a good one to take a leap on. I think that if you were looking at something with options, something that goes out a year or more, I think would be beneficial in this case. You could maybe even do a call debit spread out for a long time if you wanted to try. They're kind of expensive if you go to January 15th of 2027. You know, they're trading for like $2,300 a contract, $2,000. I know that's a lot for some people from what I've seen over the years. So if you wanted to make it easier, you could probably buy like the 120 strikes, and you could short like the, I don't know, like the 150 strikes for like $1,000 a contract, and you could have that range there. That's probably what I would go for. How is the implied volatility actually on ServiceNow? I'm going to check. Oh, yeah, how's crude? Okay, just getting slow. ServiceNow's implied volatility on the daily is pretty high, 48%. Definitely like the upper bounds of its zones recently. So really not a bad spot. Also not a bad spot for cash secured puts either. If you were looking to catch those, possibly the $100 strike cash secured puts. Another interesting opportunity I could see working out. Yeah, ServiceNow is exploding as we say it. 114.80. Looks great intraday today. Yeah, so you'd be looking at a max gain of $1,700 and a max loss of $1,200 per contract. So your max gain's better than your max loss, which is good. Break-even price, $132.70. You're risking essentially $1 to make $1.36 on the risk reward. So 1.36. Whenever you sell that 150 call, you're really reducing the price of that 120 strike call for January. I didn't mean to get that deep in it, but it's a pretty solid opportunity. RCAT. Are we holding RCAT till earnings? I'm not holding RCAT till earnings. I think it's fun to day trade RCAT. UMAC is a fun one that is pulling back a bit today, down 5.9% now. These stocks will probably slow down a little bit eventually. I like them better for shorter term trades, personally. Rather than swings. Last night I got a tomahawk ribeye that I'm grilling up tonight. We have a baseball draft going on. So my buddy's coming over. We're going to grill up some steaks, hit the racing sim, and then draft. Should be pretty fun. The tomahawk ribeye has me excited, though. BMNR at plus 10% on the day now. Bitmine, 2270 coming up, 10%. Seriously, wow. Now that is a great intraday run by BMNR. Continued up very well. These Bitcoin stocks has been where the money is right now. Damn, what a move. How's Nebius looking? It pulled back a little bit, and it's starting to look more solid now. Possible buy the dip opportunity here off 114. If it breaks under that, you could probably cut quick. Alta's on a curl. 10% lower again. Oh my gosh. It was earnings though. Powell's expected to warn of stagflation risks. According to Bank of America, that's also coming out next week. All right, let me eye up the earnings again. Everybody, let me know in the chat your favorite earnings release next week. There's quite a bit. You got to pick something. Don't tell me nothing out there. We got to pick one. No, I'm kidding. You can say nothing if you want. I know that Elite's favorite report is going to be D-Local. It has to be. Oklo's reporting next week too. I didn't even see that one on there. Bouncing around 57 to 60. Where are they on the list? Oh, Tuesday and after hours. I missed it when I looked earlier. The CCJ put play was clutch. Nice. Yeah, very nice today. CCJ has been downtrending here. It was interesting to see it continue down. That was a nice drop off at open. 114 pullback. Come on, Elite. I know that that's what you're into. He says, circle Zaman now. I see. I wonder what that company even does. I literally just picked a random one. Let's see. What my favorite, though, is definitely going to be RCAT. Given what's been going on with the drones. Now it came out that all 6 crew members of the US KC-135, which is an aerial refueling tanker, was lost in Iraq. They all perished in the crash, unfortunately. Yeah, our cat's going to be an interesting one there. Let's go see what PLBY looks like on the chart. Oh gosh, it's been volatile down here. Yeah, it is a penny stock now. I didn't realize Playboy traded lower became a penny stock. Okay. Interesting movement. Let's go back to SPY. The fact that the market pumped off that news is wild. Hopefully that's not what really made it pump. "13 minutes ago, I did see some news that Trump says U.S. may escort ships through the Hormuz if needed." I know that he's already said that, but it sounds like that came out again. "Not focused on operation to take Iranian uranium, but at some point we might be." He said he's not focused on taking their uranium, but he might be. What? Trump says U.S. will be hitting Iran hard over the next week. I do see that, Mason. Yeah, 17 minutes ago is when that came out. Kind of lines up well with where it happened, so. Trump on Iranian sleeper cells. There could be more than 1,700. Like, in the country? Or do they mean, like, in Iran? Like, in the U.S. or in Iran? Hopefully they mean in Iran, but... hard to keep track of what they mean with some of these headlines, but... Zoidberg says he's 100% getting that uranium. It kind of goes well with your name, Hostile. SPY started ripping back down now. Very choppy day so far on SPY itself. Not my favorite to see. Nvidia's down, which is good. At least we're moving lower. Unlike the SPY, which is just sitting there. Just sitting there. All right, all right. Let's see. We go check out the banks. Bank of America chopping slightly higher. Same with JP Morgan. These have been down quite a bit lately, so I've been eyeing them up in case we see a bigger pop back to the upside there. How's Disney doing? Haven't looked at them in a while, but just randomly thought about Disney again. Kind of waiting for that sell-off to accelerate on Disney down to like 93 or so for that gap to fill, and then start averaging in down to 80. Jake said, I think after this week's pullback, we deserve a decent bounce. You know what's weird is that this week was green for a lot of it. Monday morning we fell down, but besides that we were green all the way till yesterday. So I guess 2 days of green. It's not that much, I suppose. 2.5 days. I know what you mean though from yesterday and today. I'm a bit worried about it consolidating here, Jake. Just keep chopping, really. I'm worried about that. Tesla moving lower, 394, 395. Support hitting right now. Not too bad. One sec, guys. All right. Sorry about that. Hostile says, I haven't got into a SPY trade today yet. There's no clear move. I don't blame you there. I think that's smart sometimes, sitting on the sidelines, waiting for what is a better opportunity for you overall. Yeah, these stocks are hard to hold for a long time, for long term, like RCAT and others if you're buying them up around these highs. Oil's moving back up, Elite says. Let's see. Go look at it on Thinkorswim Live. Whoa. There we go. 95.15. It is breaking out a little bit. Breaking 95 a barrel. There we go. It is starting to pop back a bit more now. Not necessarily good for the market. That's probably coming out as it's been released that the U.S. Soldiers have been killed. Trump asked about taking Karg Island, said it's not high up on the list. Italy has removed its troops from Iraq, according to AP. Trump says Iran's regime will fall, but maybe not immediately. What? These updates get weird sometimes. Trump talks in such a weird way. Man, Palantir is very weak here. Keep your eyes on Palantir. It might try to break through the pre-market low and today's low of the day and push towards 150. That's going to be a big push down for Palantir here. Day trading drone stocks is like betting on which gust of wind is going to make the house of cards fall. That's funny. Day trading drone stocks. Anybody have any Friday funnies for us this week? All right, sorry about that, guys. Palantir moving a bit lower. SPY moving up, or moving lower as well, sorry, meant to say. Continuing the downtrend here. Looking good to the downside. The put player is very happy today. Pull back down towards 667 at this point. This whole 667, 668 range has been pretty critical. Watch out. I would love to see it drop towards 665.50 and then ultimately 662.50. I don't think we'll get down to 662.50 though without some more negative news hitting. Trump said that the reports of long lines for getting gas in China are correct. Democratic senators probe into 8 AI companies on data centers. Trump said the economy will bounce right back when the Iran war's over. Now that's the new big headline that just hit. The economy will bounce right back when the war is over. Everyone filling up before it goes up in a couple of weeks, Mason said. I just filled up a rental car in Cali for $60, half tank. Holy shit. My fiance's RAV4 hybrid, which gets like 42 miles to the gallon, isn't looking so bad now, is it? That thing's pretty wild. My Corvette, on the other hand, gets like 12 miles to the gallon. The Jeep gets like 15. It was diesel. Oh, you had to fill up a rental car with diesel? What kind of rental car did you have? It was a Range Rover. Wow, I've never seen a diesel Range Rover before. I guess I've never looked into those too much, but interesting. It is black, Zoidberg. Here, I'll show you a picture. Here, this is what it looks like. Not my favorite picture, but that's not mine. Mine has black wheels, but I don't know what, yeah, I don't know. Here, this is actually what it looks like. More like this. This is what it looks like. It's an older one. It's an 08. I wanted to grab... I had a new one, and then I sold it to buy an old one. $30-something thousand hostile. It's pushing 40,000 though. It's like 38,000, 39,000, something around there. No, not really manicured. Not really. I do like to take pictures sometimes, but man, Tesla's really running under 395, 394.50, rejecting to the downside right now. Not looking good. There's a massive pullback hitting. Yeah, I know, right? I end up driving my Jeep like 95% of the time. Oh my gosh, Mason. The guy on Turo didn't tell you that till 2 days into the trip. Wow, I would have done regular gas. Could you tell it was diesel by like the way it sounded or like rumbled or anything? Normally you can tell. But it probably has real big on the gas cap. It says diesel only, I would assume. Look at the oil cap when you pop up the hood. Gotcha. It didn't smell like diesel? Yeah, that's crazy. Normally they have distinct things like that. QQQ pulled back hard under $600 here, though, continuing to sell off into this morning. Looking at the Mag 7 setup, NVIDIA still trending down too, 182.50, starting to test. Potentially breaking down. Microsoft is breaking down through $400 here. This is no good for the Bulls. The Bears don't care too much, I have a feeling. Oh yeah, the weight of the oil, for sure. He's talking about gas, though. Wow, Google, SPY, guys, pulling lower. SPY's through 666. Now negative on the day yesterday. Negative on the day. Wow. It posted 3-6 Mafia. I have not heard of that in a long time. One time I got in trouble because I came home from Walmart or Target with a 3-6 Mafia CD and my mom was like, no. Nvidia 182 coming up. Can you look at BA? Yeah, sure. Wow, keep your eyes on tech. It is selling down. BA selling down 2 down to 206.34. Haha, Mets. Hey, at least that's glossy paint. Boeing is pretty brutal right now intraday. Watch it to the downside with the market. It's selling off the past few days too. Accelerating pretty bad. I would look for it to continue down in the short term. Donald Trump told the Brian Kilmeade show he will know the Iran conflict is over, quote, when I feel it in my bones, close quote. What? Trump has to feel it in his bones to know that the Iran conflict is over. I like it. Some of these terms that I hear thrown out lately are insane. I'm not hating on it or anything. I'm just saying crazy rhetoric. Hard not to watch Tesla, which is selling off hard. What a wild end to the week here, guys. What a wild one, especially coming off the PCE data. SPY was ripping at first, doing great. Now giving it all back and then some. Wild movement, wild chops, continued playing out. Yeah, Mets, I have seen that. Mets posted up that right now in Great Britain, it costs them $1.50 of a pound per liter, essentially. 1.50 pounds per liter. And that equates to $7.61 USD per gallon. Wow. I knew that it was high. I didn't realize it was that high. I had heard some places where it was like $10 a gallon and stuff, but I didn't think that it would be like that in the UK. I don't know who to blame for that besides yourselves. But it's tough when you have to import all that in that type of way, isn't it? Who are your guys' biggest importer of oil? I'm curious. I haven't looked any of those stats up for the UK, but I wonder who you guys import the most from. Like which country? Tesla down through 394. That is a big breakdown. Gosh, once that low of yesterday gave out, it was game on. What's NVIDIA support? How low can I ride it? 180 is going to be big. It looks like the low from the past couple days is sitting at 181.75, kind of right where it bounced today. So you're going to have to watch out there a little bit. But given today's like pullback again, and with the way NVIDIA's setting up, I would look for more of a bleed off to continue. I think you could hold it for a while. The problem is though, is like, let's say you're shorting it and you go short right now and it starts to pop back a little bit and then collapse, you know, this could stop you out, right? That could stop you out later into the afternoon. But I do still lean more down to the downside overall. As it pops back here, it might not be bad to try to hit on. Just, you know, be a bit wary. The headlines are wild. If a headline hits, it could end up flying right back up. Let's see. Yeah, they are, Mets. Yeah, they are. They've done that a lot lately, haven't they? It says that the U.S. accounts for 37% of the UK's crude oil imports. Norway accounts for 31%, and OPEC countries, which are a big group, account for 20%. That's what Gemini says. I don't know if Gemini is correct. Sometimes they get things wrong, but I'm warning you just in case, but that's what Gemini is saying. He says, I'm sitting here in a Kyle Busch t-shirt. I'm a petrol head, but I drive an EV. I feel ashamed. Mets, how hard is it to get, let's say, how come you don't just go buy an Aston Martin, Mets? Come on. You're in the UK. They should be nice and cheap over there. I can't afford to run it. I just found a used 2012 Aston Martin for sale for 49 grand. There you go. thing actually looks pretty nice, too. Yeah, 761. Do people ever have cars that they just drive like around for the weekend? Like, I'm sure having like just a weekend gas guzzler wouldn't be too bad. TSLA pushing up here. Maybe stocks are starting to find a bit of a base. Hard to call the bottom, though, here. Hard to call the bottom. 600 to fill it up. KNMSO says you're late again. Wow. You've been late every day this week. That's funny. One sec. I'm gonna grab a quick drink of water here. That's what's gonna happen to me, manicured. No, I'm kidding. Bumble was up 30% yesterday. Bumble? B-U-M-B? Oh, B-M-B-L. Wow, yeah, it was. They had earnings on Wednesday night. Made them explode yesterday. They really slowed up today, though, unfortunately. Wow, SPY's starting to come up off the bottom there. This doesn't mean it's going to be the bottom of the day, but it's starting to show a short-term bottom at least. Oh, the charger would be fun. Tassie's pushing resistance now. Watch out. KNMSO. Making me laugh out here today. All right, guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. We're going to go ahead and call it here. Pretty fun trading day, though. A lot of action back and forth all across the market. A lot of crazy up and down movement. BMNR and the Bitcoin stocks were doing great at first. They started pulling back. We saw things like Nebius continuing up. Still keep Nebius on the radar. Moving after good news yesterday. Oil continued to try to pump. A lot of wild action out there in the market for today. So keep your eyes on some of these stocks if you're looking for some other opportunities here later this morning or into the afternoon. As always, if you need anything, let me know in the Discord and I will take care of it for you. But let's go. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of the day. Get nice and rested up for next week. There's a lot going on. We're going to actually have an FOMC meeting coming next week. For those of you that did not know, FOMC meeting will be coming out Wednesday next week at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And then at 2:30, the man, the myth, the legend, Jerome Powell will speak at his second to last ever speech / press conference as the FOMC chairman. He'll be out after the April one. All right. Thank you guys. As always, if you're not in the trading floor, make sure to check out the link that I'm sending in the chat right now. Check it out. Join up. Learn some new strategies. Trade with the bots. Get in on the action. Click that link. If you're in the trading floor now, you want to upgrade to yearly from monthly. It'll save you a ton of money. Just shoot me or Mason a message. Other than that, I'm out. Time to go get some breakfast. See ya.